strong.
Hello guys, so you're welcome to this module where we would be talking about Google Discovery adverts, right? And how to run a Google Discovery ad. And so Google Discovery adverts, simply these are campaigns that let you share your brand story with people across Google feeds. When they're open to discovering new products and services. So every day on YouTube, every day on Google Discover, every day on Gmail, people are discovering new products and services that align with their interest. And so Google Discovery Adverts allows you to place your adverts, your brand story, your real estate banners, and all of that in front of these people. And I mean, you're able to reach an expanse of over 3 billion people in terms of the total capacity of people within the network. You're not located to Nigeria, Lagos, Canada, United States, anywhere. I mean, you can access these are people that you can access all over the world, whether they're in Dubai or in Canada or in US, you can access these people. And then so they get to see your adverts on their feeds, on their discovery feeds, on their Gmail promotions feeds, on their YouTube home and watch feeds, and then and sometimes on their Gmail promotions and social tabs. They get to see your campaign, right? And then difference between a Google Display advert and a Google Discovery ad. So Google Display adverts show on websites and apps that are associated with Google, while Google Discovery ads show on feeds. So those are the feeds that people are scrolling through. When once people are scrolling through YouTube or Google Discover platforms, they see the feeds, right? And they're like, oh wow, look at this person's advert. So it shows on feeds. And so I just want to show some examples of some Google Discover adverts. So here's one on YouTube. So you can be scrolling on YouTube and you just see an advert like this, right? So this is a Google Discovery ad. And sometimes, you might, so this is on Discover, so that's on your phone when you're going through Discover from Google. Let's say maybe like, sometimes when someone is playing, like it doesn't match on Google, and some people are playing, that match. Sometimes you click on the scores and it takes you to the Google Discover feed, and you're going through that and you're seeing different kinds of news. Sometimes you'll see an advert like this just pop up. Right, so that's the Google Discover ads, and then sometimes on Gmail, right? You would on your promotions tab on Gmail, you see adverts like this, and they come out, and you see the Google Discovery ads. So there are some common features that are there because you have like the headline, you have the description, and then you have like the URL with the logo and things like that. And so those things are common. You see here as well, and then you have the image, right? So you see the image, the headline, the discovery, the name of the company with the logo. You can see the logo, the name of the company, the headline, and you can see some part of the description there. So that's just examples of Google Discovery adverts. Okay, this is not so clear, but it's kind of similar. So you can see on Discovery, parts on YouTube, and these are the discovery feeds. So those are just examples of Google Discovery ads. So now we are going to go over to create our first campaign on Google for Google Discovery adverts. I'm just going to head over to my campaign, right? So you should have your campaign set up, your Google account set up, and then you just click on this plus sign to create a new campaign and select new campaign. All right, so you see different options of different kinds of campaign that you can set up. But right now, we're just going to select in terms of the objective that we want to achieve with our campaign. We're just going to select. You can either select sales or leads. Most people that use sales are people like e-commerce stores, where people can easily buy the products right from their website, so they're able to track sales. But for real estate companies, it's hard to track sales because no one is going to make a transfer. There's no merchants that's going to allow you to pay that amount of money for a house online. So it usually happens through some kind of wire transfer of sorts. So most of the time, I'll say like 99% of the time, you're always going to be going for leads, right? So you want to generate leads for your real estate business. So you select leads, and then you come down to the different kinds of campaign that you can do, right? So I mean, in other modules we talked about search campaigns, display campaigns, YouTube video campaigns. But today we're going to talk about discovery. So we're going to select discovery campaigns, and then just click continue. So that will take us to the setup page where we would be setting up your campaign on Google, right? So gonna, it's gonna load now. All right. So we have our campaign set up, right? So you can just go ahead to name your campaign, right? So I like to have the name of the advert I'm running, especially if I'm running different kinds of adverts. So I like to have that there, and I also like to have the name of the campaign, right? So the campaign can just be that the house you're promoting. So let's say I'm doing a campaign for Urban. So let's say Urban Discovery campaign, right? So I just put the name of the product I'm advertising, right? And then I put the name of the campaign, the kind of campaign I'm running. So that it's just going to be easy for me to differentiate, from my dashboard. And this is the discovery campaign, and then this is the name of the product, right? And you can create as many campaigns for different products as you have. And then next thing that we're going to do is select the location, right? So this is we want to enter location of where we're advertising. If I'm advertising to the whole of Nigeria, I can just leave this as Nigeria. But let's say I want to advertise to people in Lagos. So I just type the name of the city and then target Lagos. Uh, let's say I want to reach people in Abuja, target Abuja. Now, in case I want to reach people in Canada, for example, I just click on Canada and select target Canada. Well, let's say I don't want to target a whole country. I just want to target like a place like Vancouver that's in Canada. I can just choose a city called Vancouver in Canada, right? And then I can just remove this from here. So you can see that locations. So you can go ahead to select the locations of people that you want to target, for your advert. And then next we're going to come down to language. Is usually, you can just leave it as English and French. Sometimes they select French, so I just want it as English. So it's just going to show to people that speak English. I mean that search in English. Next, we're going to come down to conversions, right? So there are two options available. You can either use the maximize conversions based strategy. So this just means that Google would automatically select the conversions, the targets that they automatically select the target cost per action for you. So they will maximize it so that the budget that is required for you to hit your goals, to hit the amount of leads that you're looking to generate um, from the platform, they would select that for you, right? But you can also go ahead to select that target by yourself. So you can say that okay, you want to set a cost per lead or a cost per conversion. And what now happens in that instance is that, for example, I tell Google I don't want to spend more than $2 for every lead I generate, right? So Google will be working with this $2. So if it's looking like I'm spending more, um, to reach this amount, it's going to kind of like reduce the. It's going to look for audiences that are cheaper for me, right? So it's usually if you don't have any data on how much is required for you to get quality audience and to get leads, I would say that you just leave this as you don't use a target cost per action, and you just work with maximize conversions based strategy. But if you have enough data, maybe from advertising in the past, and you've gathered enough data and things like that, then you can set a target cost per action. I can just tell Google, okay, I don't want to spend more than $5, or I don't want to spend more than $2, right? Cost per action. So I'm just going to leave this blank since we don't have any data right now for our conversions. Next, we're going to go ahead to select the amount you want to spend each day, right? So you can go ahead to say, so this is always based on your budget, right? So I would suggest that you take your total budget for Google, right? I know that you might want to advertise on search on other platforms, but you can just take your budget on Google. Let's say you want to spend $300 on Google, and you divide that $300 by 30. That means you have about $10 to spend every day on Google Ads. So I can just put $5 here um, for my advertising, so I can use the other $5 in another form of advert. Excuse me. So the next thing I want to do now is your ad group name. Now this ad group is usually where you select your audience. That's the people that you want to see your adverts. So you can just go ahead to name it based um, on the kind of people that you want to see your ad, right? So I can just call this how let's just say real estate. All right, so you can use any name you want, just as long as you're able to identify it, right? The next thing that you want to do now is now select your audience. So there are different kinds of. So if I come to browse, there are different kinds of audiences right here, right? So you have custom audience. So this is, let's say you have a um, let's say you have a form of sorry, let's say you have a form of list, like a list. Let's say like you have a list of people who have used your website in the past and things like that, or let's say like leads that you want to try and see if you can advertise to those people. You can put those leads into you can upload those leads in here in your custom audience. Okay, I'm going to scrap that. Alright. So you have different kinds of adverts. So first one is people who have interacted with your business. So that's either marketing lists and things like that, or similar audiences or website visitors. So these are just people who have, they've maybe either visited the page, or they filled your form on your website, or they have taken certain actions right on your website and things like that. So we're going to talk more about retargeting audience later. So we're not going to focus on that now. Custom audience is well, these are just more or less custom audiences that you build yourself, right? And but what we are really going to focus on is in-market audiences. So in-market audiences are people who are actually searching for what it is you are selling at the point. So they're in the market, So you just think about that. So I can just come down to real estate. So these are people who are searching for real estate. I can look for people who are searching for residential properties and people who are searching for commercial properties online. I can also look for other things that people might be who are interested in those things might be also be interested uh, in my services. So I can see that maybe people who are also interested in travel, might also be interested in. Um, all right, so I'm not seeing anything here that's really relevant. So you can come down to live events, right? And then you can just search for people who are just looking to purchase a home. Right? You can add that there. So live events is more or less like things that people are um like events that happen in someone's life. So you can search for people who just got married, people who are recently married. You can use that. I can search for people who are moving from place to place. So maybe you're moving soon, or you just recently moved. You might be looking for a place to stay or a house to buy. Um, you know. Um, so life events is also very very interesting. Home renovation, um, things like that. So you can just look for things similar to what it is, like your properties that you're looking to promote. And you can just go through all of this one by one. Another thing you can do is you can come to search and actually search for things that are similar to uh, things that are similar to what you sell. So I can say okay, people who are interested in interior design, decorating services, might be interested in buying a house and things like that. So once you're done with that in market audience and all of that, you can, sorry, uh, there's also this show your ads to more people who are likely to convert. If you untick this, it's going to reduce your audience, but I like to leave it open so that I can expand the reach of people I'm actually going to reach with my audience, right? So that's something that you can do. So once you're done with that, you click done, and then right here in the bottom right corner, it's going to show you the amount of people that your audience, your advert is possibly able to reach. So right now, based on my targeting and things like that, I can reach over 20 million people. Um, Let me just remove this Canada. So let me just see. So just in Nigeria alone, I can reach about 40 million people, right, with my adverts. Next thing you want to do is your demographics, right? So you want to select. So there are some things here based on demographics that you might want to select or unselect. So, for example, I don't want to advertise to people who are between 18 and 24 because most of them might not necessarily be able to afford a house. 25 to 34 is okay. Then I just click on done. So that's it. That's basically how the audience works, right? And so right now we're going to go into we're going to go straight into creation of the adverts. So you just click on this plus sign to create a new advert. And there are two kinds of ads that we can create, right? So you can create a discovery advert, you can create a discovery carousel ad. And we're going to talk about the two of them in just a moment, right? So stay tuned. Right.
Be strong.